welcome to episode 56 of the 2 Minute Warning. Today on the table, NFL Week 9. We're looking at the games this week and kind of giving our predictions. Jay, what you got?
Yeah, this is just a recap. Thursday Night Football. Packers destroyed the Niners.
Routed them.
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Probably, I would probably have to say the best chemistry between quarterbacks.
I think Devontae Adams set a record last night.
Something like those. Great game.
With catches and touchdowns through first 6 games of the season or something, because I don't think he's...
Might have been. I'm
yeah,
not sure.
that was
Either way, they might be the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the league, in my opinion. But yeah, Packers continue to steamroll. First game to predict: Seattle versus Buffalo at Buffalo. Both teams are going to the playoffs for sure, in my opinion. I'm gonna take Seattle though. I love both teams, and I do think Josh Allen will put up a fight, but I'm gonna take Seattle. I can't ever count out Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I think those are two high-powered offenses going at each other.
I would say Buffalo has a better defense, but I'm still taking Russell.
Yeah, I'm going to say Seattle with a little bit weaker defense than Buffalo, but neither of their defenses are top-notch. So really, I think this is going to be an offensive shootout. And in that offensive shootout, I'm going to take Russell Wilson and that DK chemistry there. I got Russell Wilson, and only by a score, though. It's going to be a close game, but I got Seattle.
Another good matchup, the Chicago Bears versus Tennessee Titans. Titans are coming off 2 tough losses. I mean, Steelers was a close game. The Bengals is unexpected by everyone. And Chicago's not an easy team to beat. I mean, Nick Foles has dropped off a little bit. He's been throwing a lot of picks, but I'm going to still take the Titans. They're due for a win already. Chicago's going to continue to lose, and they're going to start to become staying out of the playoff picture and lose that 7th seed position possibly.
Yeah, I don't see Tennessee losing 3 games in a row. I think Tennessee's a good team, and I think Chicago's a solid team, and I think it's just going to be a little bit of a mismatch with Tennessee by 2 scores.
All right. Another good matchup, Ravens versus Colts. Both these teams, is probably like the first game. Both of them need to show that they can beat a good team. I mean, they both have great winning records, but none of them have really destroyed, dominated, or beat a really well-rounded team yet. So it's going to be interesting to see. I would like the Colts to win, but I'm going to take Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I can see Phillip Rivers getting a turnover too, like usual. And I just don't think the Colts have that type of offense to keep up with Lamar's electricity.
Yeah, I think Ravens are coming off a loss against who last week?
Steelers,
that's right. So I think I'm going to take Lamar and the Ravens. I think it'll be a relatively close game, but I just think the way Lamar plays, runs football a lot, throws the ball not as much, I think that will work well against Colts defense. Even though the Colts have a very solid defense, I think Lamar and the Ravens take this one by 7 points.
Yeah. Panthers versus Chiefs. Christian McCaffrey might be coming back. If he does, if he doesn't, he's not going to be stopping Patrick Mahomes on defense. I'm going to take an easy win for the Chiefs, at least by a touchdown.
Yeah, not much to say, but I'm going to take the Chiefs relatively easily. I think Teddy Bridgewater will probably struggle again this week. A couple turnovers, whatever, so I got the Chiefs.
Lions versus Vikings. I'm going to go Kirk Cousins. I think Dalvin Cook will stay high. He's not going to get 4 touchdowns again, but I think he'll continue to be fed the ball a lot, and I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm going to take a high-scoring game just because Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, they can both sling it if needed, and I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if I can really tell you why I like the Lions. I think it's because of Matt Stafford. I think he's a great quarterback that's just kind of been stuck in a weak team for his entire career. But I'm going to take the Lions in this game. I think the Vikings have the potential to put up a lot of points, but also the potential to struggle. Kirk Cousins turned the ball over pretty often lately. So I'm going to take Matt Stafford and the Lions, but it'll be a late game comeback, and I think Lions win by 7, but it'll be in the 4th quarter when they take the lead.
Next, we got the New York Giants up against the Washington football team. Giants just came off a tough, close loss to Tom Brady, and the Bucs Monday Night Football really shouldn't have been close, but either way, Giants put up a good fight. I'm going to take the football team just because they actually have potential to get in the playoffs at this point. They're second in the division. If they could get another division win over the Giants, they'll solidify their 2nd spot in that division and make a fight to beat the Eagles. They already beat the Eagles once this year. It'll be interesting to see later the season goes. Not to say Washington's a good team, but against the sad Giants, I'm going to take Washington.
I'm going to take Daniel Jones and the Giants this game. Last week we saw them put up a pretty good fight against the Bucs. I mean, Daniel Jones still particularly denied a good game. Yeah. Several missed opportunities for turnovers from the Bucs. But then that last play of the game, questionable call with the pass interference or not, whatever, I think Daniel Jones comes out against Washington and actually plays solid football, and I got the Giants in this matchup.
Sounds good. Next game, Texans versus Jags. I don't even think Gardner Minshew's playing. I'm going to take Deshaun Watson. He's been playing well. The Texans just been struggling, and I think he'll win this game against a weak defense and weak offense.
Yeah, only game of the season that the Texans have won was against Jacksonville. Only game that they actually put up offensive numbers that were like the Texans teams last year that was actually good. The longest play of the season for Houston has been against Jacksonville. I think a lot of numbers are lining up for Texans to win this game, especially without Minshew. So I got Texans by 14 points.
Next, we got the Raiders at the Chargers. Justin Herbert versus Derek Carr. I like the Raiders. I think they will make the playoffs at either a 6th or 7th seed, but I do think the Chargers will win this game and make that playoff wild card playoff hunt just a touch more competitive and a touch closer. I'm going to take the Chargers at home.
Chargers at home. Justin Herbert, obviously electric quarterback. We've talked about him in several videos. We love Justin Herbert, young guy that shows veteran tendencies. But I think I'm going to take the Raiders in this game. If you look at the last 5 games, or maybe it's got to be 5 at this point, Chargers have blown significant leads. 16 points, I think, is the number. Whether that means that they lost the lead and then still end up winning, or lost the lead and then ended up losing the game. Something about that Chargers team isn't in touch right now, and I think this Raiders team has a lot of motivation behind them to get that wild card spot in the AFC. So I'm going to go with Derek Carr and the Raiders, even though they're on the road.
Steelers at Cowboys. I'm going to take it just not much to say. Steelers winning this one.
Yeah, either 8-0 or 9-0. No,
I think it's 8.
It'll be 8-0 after this week for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, then we got a good matchup. Dolphins versus Cardinals. I said last week, I don't like Tua against this Rams matchup, and I was completely wrong, and I want to say the same thing again, but he might prove me wrong again. But I'm going to stick with my gut and say what I said last week. I think the Cardinals are going to blow them out. I think with DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, the Dolphins aren't going to put much of a fight. I do think the Dolphins have a chance to get into the wild card spot, but especially if they can win this game.
They're 5-3 now, or are they?
I think 4-3.
4-3.
But if they can somehow pull off this, it'll look great because this is one of their toughest matchups ahead in their upcoming schedule. So it'll be a close game, and I don't even think it'll be a close game. I'm going to take the Cardinals by at least a score or 2.
Yeah,
Make the Rams look bad.
So last week we saw, obviously, Tua come out and lead the Dolphins to a win over the Rams. But I think that was more so of the Rams leading themselves to a loss with the turnovers, the mistakes on special teams, the fumble, Jared Goff with the interception. So I think Tua didn't necessarily lead the team to a win last week. So I think this week is the same situation. I'm going to expect the Cardinals to come out. And I think this Cardinals team, between Kyler and DeAndre, is just electric offense. I think they're a very solid team, solid wildcard NFC spot. So I think the Cardinals are going to come out, and I think they'll play cleaner football than the Rams, and they won't give Tua a 95-yard passing game and give them a win. So I'm going to take Cardinals by 10 points.
Sounds good. Probably the best matchup we got this week, Sunday Night Football, Saints at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Sunday night game.
Tampa's got Antonio Brown this game. The Saints, they will get Emmanuel Sanders back. Michael Thomas is still undecided. It's looking good for him to come back, but it's still unknown. This game really determines the division, in my opinion. I'm going to go with Tom Brady and the Bucs at home. I think it'll be a close game. They're both going to have to pass a lot now. And I think even with Alvin Kamara, he's just going to get a lot of catches out of the backfield. I'm going to take the Bucs in a really close game down to possibly the last drive.
I like that prediction a lot. I think the main reason I want to say the Bucs are going to win this football game is because I don't think Tom Brady will drop to the solid Saints team. Of course, they lost the season opener to New Orleans. Of course, being at home in Tampa, it just makes sense for a split to happen.
Yeah.
I think this will be a very close game, very high-powered offense on the Bucs side, and a great offense with or without Michael Thomas. With Emmanuel Sanders back, it's not as good without Michael Thomas. Obviously, with Michael Thomas, this offense is another step higher. But Kamara, Drew Brees, solid foundation on the offense there, and I think the Bucs come out and win. A close game, like you said. I think we might even see a classic Brady 2-minute drill, late game drive to take the lead and win.
I mean, it will be close because if Michael Thomas comes back and he's still arguably the best receiver in the league, and Antonio Brown comes back and he's not even top 15 anymore, that could change the game plan. But I watched Skip and Shannon start a debate today how Tom Brady has never been swept in his division, and I don't think that'll happen today in the NFC. So I think Tom Brady will continue his streak and win this game and win the division with the Bucs.
Tom Brady, go.
Final game. Patriots at Jets, kind of a boring game. Both awful teams, but I don't see the Jets getting their first win.
Is there a chance that the struggles continue for New England bad enough to give the Jets their first win? I think it's possible. Cam Newton's numbers are just straight up not good, bad. Yeah. They're bad. Very low passing performance, high turnovers. And we've seen the Jets play teams like Buffalo solidly.
Yeah.
They didn't play the Chiefs solidly anyway. The Jets are not good. I think that the Patriots will win this game, but I would not rule out a Jets win at all. I think it's very possible.
Sounds good.
All right, week 9, 2 in the morning.